got that pretty much down. Everything there is good. Okay. And so we've got the higher time frame bias down. We know pretty much what we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move everything over here to the middle screen. So give me 1 second here, so that we can stay on that execution window that we like to see, 15 and 5. Okay. Now, obviously, you guys know I'm going to be having the price here on the higher time frames just to kind of see what we're seeing in the comparative strength analysis. But overall, what I'm going to be looking at is what I'm about to shift you guys to here in the Discord is the executions. So change stream. Okay, so okay. And so now what we'll look at, since it's 25, since we've got everything pretty much marked, is going to be any of the internal liquidity on the way up or down. Okay, so obviously, all we see is higher highs and higher lows and just slow bullish grind price from those 23. The low of the day is 23,093. So let's just round up to 23.1. Price is at 23.5, so they've moved up 400 handles. One of the areas that I can already see and identify as an area that potentially could be a liquidity zone on this way up is these double bottoms right here, 23,373. So if we do end up finding a short on the way at that New York Open, then this could potentially be an area where we see something. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and lock in. You guys know when I put the risk parameter tool up, that's usually when we're starting to look for an actual setup. That doesn't mean I'm actually taking the setup. So what I'll explain is, if I'm looking for a position, sometimes I'll have that position tool up just to kind of see. And then if I do end up taking the setup, I'll give you guys a price range of where I plan to get in and when I'm going to get in, and the stop loss, right, and the take profit. Obviously, if you guys have been trading with me and you kind of have an understanding, we're looking for 1 to 3 setups. We're looking for 1 to 5 setups. So our average risk is about 20 handles. Our average 1 to 3 is about a 60 handle gain. So if we go for 100 handles, that's about a 1 to 5 R. Okay, so let's lock in. Let's see what we get, and then let me make sure everything's up here on YouTube as well. Now, obviously, guys, like I told you here in the Discord, the advantage is that there's about a 14 to almost 22 second delay on YouTube. And then there's not a chance that I'll be on there every day, because I just don't like to upload the video and go through all the process. It's a lot easier to just hop on Discord here with the fam. So let's lock in. Let's see what we get, and trade safe. Yo, okay, I couldn't hear on that. Cool. And then Discord, I just want to see what y'all say. I got middle screen. Okay, cool. And then for this one, I'm going to be doing this one. Yes. Okay, so knock this one out today. make sure I had this ES window up here. Okay. All right, so we like to see that comparative strength between these two. So. It does look like they could rip out that that high of day, which is also in alignment with 23,580. So I'm just gonna be patient though in the beginning. Okay. Looks pretty bearish to that target that we talked about, so just kind of being patient here, me personally. Now I am kind of seeing this as a potential. Let's watch this area. Okay, it still looks pretty strong. 5 minutes looks still pretty good here. Then we want to know where that 550 level is above us here. 23,550. And then we do have a little bit of lift off on ES with that same kind of wick high, but I don't trust it yet. So always want to know once price starts to move on that 5 and 15 where that New York lower high is for the day, so as of right now. So this is our New York low. Diamond, get out of that bathroom. I should have closed that door. I messed up. My dog likes to go crazy right at New York Open, guys. So, okay, so let's lock in here. Still looking at ES. So still just watching price here. Pretty nice draw on liquidity on the upside. So I like them to go take out the high side though. So let's see here. So something along these lines, but we'll be patient here. I'm watching 1 minute to see if I'm going to take an entry or not. But like something below New York Open, if it was to stay strong, I may end up taking that. But this also could be sell side because of how that high is engineered. So I'm just going to be patient. But I'll let you guys know if I'm going to buy something here. But I'm not in a mood, just to want to be clear, okay? Because I do think this still could roll over on sell side. I'm just watching how we're going to get that 1 minute signal here. The 1 minute is starting to show more sell side to me, so it's just got to see on this area. This area is kind of a tricky one. $5 minute looks pretty heavy, so that area looks invalid, so we'll just wait. But I think if we can get to that level that we talked about pre-market here, this is going to be the good level. We didn't get the 1 minute signal there. 23, what, 350s we're looking for. Let me take a screenshot of this just really quick. First opening range. Okay. And I'm still just sitting on the sidelines right now, guys. I'm not in any sells. I'm not in any buys. ES is finding weakness from 64.67, so that's a good sign when we're looking at our comparative strength. And so now that New York low that we had originally, right, has been taken. So what I'm doing here, right, is all I'm doing is identifying where that New York high is. Okay, so you just literally do this. This is our now New York high. And then I'll move this to be in alignment when we actually make a low. Okay. But that failure on the 1 minute was actually really nice. New York high. All right, really nice weakness here on ES. And so we'll see what we get. I'm still just being patient, no trade on the board for me yet. First 5 minutes, bearish. So. Now we could have been in the cells. I do want to just kind of point that out really quick. We could have probably been in the cells, but I just didn't see it as clear today in the beginning. So, because I did like the 1 minute here, how we fast up candle, sign of weakness at the point of interest, and then fall over. But be patient. I have a good feeling that they're gonna rip through this liquidity, and then we'll find something either here, or we'll find something inside the inefficiency in the 250s. So I do need to make sure I have those 250s marked as well. 23, 250s. It looks like half levels are really the ones today that are going to be reactive. 23, 450s, and then 23, 350s. Now, if you guys did take those shorts inside that 5 minute wick, 1 minute type of situation, you've already broken 5 minute structure. You're probably over. A 1 to 3, right? If you took that in that 1 minute area and you're looking at something like this, you're already over a 1 to 3 and probably hit your 1 to 5, right? You're very close. So just kind of have that understanding, but still no trade for me. Still just looking for what we're going to get. ES is weak as well. Just kind of want to show that really fast. You are seeing that weakness on ES at the same time. So that'll be interesting to see if we can make our way down to that quarter level or not. But I'm locked in right here, guys, because I do see something potential inside this FEG. So for the buy side, so I'm watching this very tightly. Okay. I'm just framing it up. I'm not actually taking a trade. So I'm watching 1 minute price, okay? But I will let you guys know if I decide to take one here. I don't see the 1 minute reaction yet. It looks more weak. So when we're looking at like this perspective here, it looks pretty weak. So that's still invalid. We're still waiting. I think what's going to happen is we're going to have to wait for the liquidity to grab, and then we'll be able to find a really good spot. ES still weak too. What time is it? Beautiful sell side there. All right, so now we're starting to fill this little small inefficiency here. There's also one here on the 5. There's also a break of structure for the sells. So I'm going to be watching that 1 minute to see if we get the shift in price delivery, because I would like to play something back up in that situation, okay? So I'm looking at an area like this still, and I'm watching 1 minute price. Right now, 1 minute price isn't showing me that. It's got lower lows, lower highs, but if it shifts and changes, I might see something, okay? But right now, it's not valid, so we're still waiting. Let me go past it. Yeah, 1 minute price isn't valid here, so we'll still wait. Now remember, we do have some news, I believe, at 9:30. Fed Powell speaks, so, you know, just be patient. Be patient. Now we do want to be on our P's and Q's inside this 15-minute area here at 23,400, because I do want to see the liquidity deliver below this level, but let's see. It looks pretty strong to deliver through. So like I said, if we did take those shorts right in this area here, we would be able to, I've already secured our 1 to 3, 1 to 5, and then had a nice TP target. So we'll see. If there's something that's really looks good between before the end of the session, then I'll look for it, but that might be one of the plays. But I like how they've engineered the highs at 23,580s. So I'll be on my P's and Q's when they lock this, when they draw on this liquidity here, okay? Also, it'll be the right time, right? First 15 minutes of the hour, last 15 minutes of the hour. So there's a better timing factor to the trade here as well. So I need to make sure I know exactly when they rip that. Okay. Okay, so now that I'm in this area, I will like I said, I would like to see them rip that area, but I'm also going to be locked in on that small time frame, okay? But I'm not taking the trade yet, just watching the area, okay? Because this could essentially be equal lows, but it also could be a level of support that's respected here in this last 15 minutes of the hour. Okay, so let's watch this 1 minute close. Not really seeing it yet on the 1 minute, so. Still not seeing it, just eyeballing the area, right? ES is still pretty heavy to the downside. No signs of strength in the first 15-minute candle, so let's see. 1 minute price isn't really showing me the signal yet, but it also isn't breaking this area, so I'm also pretty locked in here. All right, guys, that 1 minute starting to show some good strength here at the 94s, 95s. Let's see. Anything below those 400s looks pretty good, okay? Let's see. Still waiting on this 1 minute to open. This 1 minute open is still pretty heavy. Let's see. Not very strong here at the London, the point of interest, so we're still waiting. All right, guys, I'm going to tempt those 94s on a buy position with stop loss where I showed. for a 1 to 3 up to that area. So let's see. All right, so we have a long position from the 94s, and we're looking to get right up to that 450 or higher. Okay, potential. It looks pretty good on that 1 minute to extend up back to that 450. We'll see. Now, I don't like how those lows are, so this first 5 minute candle will let us know if it's right or wrong. Okay. And then, like I said, if I do scratch on this one, I'd be looking to attempt a little lower, but that 1 minute, that 5 minute needs to really turn on if it's going to work here. Like, we'd want to see it get back above this area here, 425s, fairly quickly. 5 minute looks weak, guys, so that's probably going to be a scratch. So if this does scratch through, then I'm going to take the play under this, most likely. That's if, okay. Be impatient here. They just may want that liquidity. We'll see. If that 1 minute prints above 400s again, there's a chance that we get to 450s, but it's starting to reject a slight bit, so. Minute looks pretty heavy. ES is pretty heavy, so we'll see. They may run through this level first, and then I'll probably try those 250s. So that's a scratch for me on that one, guys. So what I'll probably end up doing, just because I was like, on that level, is I'll probably wait for a little bit lower, like this 275s. So I'll do. And this is kind of like what happened to us last week. They kind of like to draw on that liquidity first, so I'm going to be locked in still in the same area like we were last week. Because now we have the draw on liquidity. So not taking a trade, just identifying that 1 to 3, and then looking at that 1 minute price to see if it's going to work out. As of right now, it's lower low, lower high, lower low. But if there's something that kind of shifts in this area, then I would be attacking that New York Open. But as of right now, still just kind of waiting. Would love to see at least a 5 minute sign of strength, but when there's a draw on liquidity, that's usually a pretty good sign as well. So I'm pretty much looking at those 375s, 380s, but I'm gonna be watching the price action close here. Okay, cool. Still waiting. Okay, let's lock in here. All right, those 375s look interesting. Let's see. 5 minute hasn't really showed me enough. They did draw on that liquidity, but ES is still very heavy, so we still might be able to make our way down to 250s first. And then YM's pretty heavy as well. So that's invalid on my, as of right now, so we're still just waiting, or it's close. Is the 1 minute broke down yet? Yeah, it's invalid. So let's be patient. I have one scratch on the board. I'm looking for some short covering, or excuse me, some liquidity to be grabbed a little bit farther. But like I said, this area could be very nice. So I'm gonna continue to watch this on small time frames. Okay. All right, those 80s look interesting here with the LQ grab. Still watching ES. Still not seeing it yet on the 1 minute. Still looks heavy. So invalid still, just waiting. See if it pushes through that low. Hasn't pushed through the low yet. It's okay. So it looks like it's still pushing. We're through the levels over here. So still, just being patient. One scratch. Tried that level at 23.4. That was a scratch. It's okay. Excuse me. So I'll be looking to still identify this area. Because like I said, they're still not breaking lower yet. Let's watch this 5-minute close here. This close could really determine it. Okay, 5-minute close. Bears close through the level. So that looks pretty weak, right? With ES being pretty weak and YM. So we could be seeing a slide down lower. Like I said, we're not in a trade right here. We're just identifying that area once we got that LQ sweep. Okay. Okay. I'm not taking a buy here, just looking at the area, guys. It looks pretty solid though under those levels, okay? So we want that risk to align as close as we can to that low. And if we do start to see that 1-minute price action like a shift, I may attempt this area as my second area. But still feel like we could roll over a little farther below that 300 level, but I'm gonna be watching this pretty tight. All right, so I'm looking at those 65s. I would like to see a 5-minute sign of strength first, right, in this area to then take it, but it also is shaped up pretty well, so with that liquidity grab. Okay, so I like those 70s. Let's see here. Still lower low, lower highs on the 1 minute, so still trying to read that area. How much longer into the 5-minute closes? We got a reach on the H1. Okay. I'm liking those 64.70s, guys, under these old lows. That 1-minute price is still lower low, lower high, so it's not as promising. Take a look at this higher. Okay. Those 70s look pretty good, guys. I'm gonna attempt those 70s. And then if that doesn't work out, then that means that this is a 5-minute inversion play to the downside. Okay, so that means they're FEG filling this area right here at 70s and they'll just roll over, okay? And then I'll probably be good for the day because that'd be my second scratch. Okay. So anticipating that this could be a liquidity grab that we talked about, and that we see that push back up to fill some of this sell side move. If it's not, like I keep saying, if it's not, then that FEG fill right here on the 5-minute is going to roll over into the deeper range. I would probably attempt one more trade, but that'd be it for me in that situation. So depending on where you got in, if your stop loss is at that low, I think this is going to be invalid down to this area, unfortunately. But still watching. Now, if this 5-minute turns bullish, that's going to be a good sign. I mean, to me personally. But we'll see. One scratch on the board, and then this one. And then I'm looking to play if this one does scratch, maybe a little lower, and that'd be it. Because they're pretty bearish today. ES is still weak too, so. I'll be slightly sad if this does just break over, but it's kind of obvious too. So, but 1 minute price looks pretty weak if you're in those trades with stop loss at low. It's rejected those 70s pretty well. So this area to me was a little bit better than that first area. This was definitely a scratch. This was a scratch. The only other areas I'm going to look for today for my final trade would be 23 275s, like somewhere in this area when these shorts start to really cover, or close to market open. Okay, so I'll be a little more patient here on this last one. And then on this last trade with 2 scratches, I'll probably be looking for a 1 to 3 setup to just close out the day. Okay. All right, because 1R, 2R, excuse me, hit on that last one for 3R, and then still be up for a small amount for the day. But it's got to be clean. ES really weak. Take my notes here. Good sell side from first minute. Are you guys in any trades? YM, ES, any of those? That sell side move was pretty good. So looking at this FEG here, okay, it's a small little area, but this could be an area where you start to see individuals start to take profit, if not earlier. So I'm going to be waiting for that 5-minute signal that we look for to potentially enter and see if shorts are going to cover. Okay, still really heavy. ES still really heavy. Oof, YM was amazing. 45.8 down to 45.6. And London lows were equal lows. Those are really nice. Definitely would have probably presented some scratches on that. Okay, so capitulation still going down. Let's see. Good equal lows. Okay, so we've reached that 23,300 level. This is the level that I was saying we want to anticipate possible some short covering, but I would like to see it a little lower. And then don't forget, we do have that news at 9:30, so. And then ES, that special level was like 6,400 flat. Okay. All right, let's lock in here, guys. Now, if this takes off, it takes off, but I'm going to try to frame something in this area potentially. Okay. But I want to see a little bit more. So you want to be able to get that, I think, from risk to entry. So if you can get that entry lower, better. Okay. But I'm still wanting to see at least a 5-minute sign of strength here, but we still got 4 minutes, so it could rally here, guys. 310s look really good. 320s look insane. I'm going to watch that 1 minute. If we get a pullback and it starts to build some bullish price on the right side of these 300s, then I most likely will take this as my last setup. So watching this, like I said here, this 1 minute to see, but that 1 minute low looks pretty weak, so let me keep my eyes focused here. But looking to strike inside those like 312s. We're at a 20 level, market loves 20 levels and 80 levels. Still just watching them. Still got, you know, quite a bit of room to get down to this FEG, so we'll see. But I do like this area. It'd be a lot better with a 5-minute close, but we'll see. I'm going to attempt these 20s, guys, and that'll be my last trade of the day. Okay. I'm just looking for that push up. Now, if it rolls over, right, rolls back over and goes lower, that'll be it for me today because I'll have to find a new position, but that's fine. And they gave me, what, 315, so that's not bad. I'll take that. So they gave me the 315s, so looking for this to go at least above those 375s, okay? And like I said, I have a scratch on 2 of these, so I'm just looking for this to deliver back above the 272s, back into that initial balance area potentially. I'm not looking for very much more than that, okay? But if you are in that from any lower and you like say you have a better position, obviously you always want to know where that 1 to 5 is in case. And I would say getting back into this inefficiency on the way down would be interesting, 23, 412s. But just depends on your entry as well. It does look pretty good. This is my final attempt. If it goes lower, it is what it is. You are seeing a reaction off ES and YM after that liquidity grab, which makes a lot of sense. So, you know, they may want to roll over to 250s. They may hold this area here up. You know, we'll see. But I figured a lot of people shorted under this blue line, so their stop losses most likely are sitting on top of the 405s. But let's see here. ES is starting to kind of respond here at 9905. Okay. Five minutes just aren't looking strong enough right now. Let's see. They look pretty good, but if they can get above the 350s, and that kind of shows me for sure. YM and ES are starting to really pump already, which is interesting. Okay, so this 5-minute close, if it closes bullish, that's a pretty good sign that it could stay. As long as we continue to see 1-minute mitigation and bullish price on the right side of this candle. And then we have 10 minutes before the 15-minute candle. So one 5-minute candle strength isn't always the key, but it's usually a pretty good sign. But if they're wanting to continue lower, like I said, then they'll roll over. But I feel like these are pretty good areas. Now we've got the 5-minute strength, they just might dig a little bit first. But if they just go super fast, then like I said, I'll be done for the day and I'll just wait for tomorrow. But I still like this area potentially. The 1 minute looks pretty weak right now. Nah, we'll see. 1 minute looks pretty weak. ES starting to roll over too inside the FEG, so we'll see. Nah, it doesn't look so good. Still watching it though. Now my stop loss is in alignment with that LOD at the current low right now. So I'm just pretty much, it's either it breaks that low or we turn up. But that 5-minute, you'd want to see strength because this is turning into a 15-minute like expansion FEG inside the 350s. So it's kind of like it can easily take that, like not, it respected that area so well that it could reach down lower into the range. So might be my scratches for today. Still waiting it out. 5 minutes not looking heavy enough and ES isn't looking the strength. So we'll see. They're starting to turn it on here a little bit. Let's see. 1 minute price is starting to mitigate somewhat, right? That looks pretty good from that position, right? Inside the 5-minute dump. So let's see. Make sure and have your 1 to 3s already marked if you've taken any scratches with me today, because that'll put you at a positive for the day, okay? So putting your full volume at like that 372 area, depending on where you got in, okay? Take a screenshot of this area so I can have it for my stuff. Okay. Let's see if this 5-minute price can turn on or not. If they can even get back into that initial bounce area, like that blue line, that above 370, 375s, then that's a good sign, okay? That 5 minutes looking kind of weak though with 1 minute left. I need to see it turn on. Uh-oh, she's starting to turn on, guys. Let's not get excited though. Let's see if we can get through that 1 to 3, okay? I need to see that 5-minute candle closing above this previous candle. That would make me a little bit more like, okay. All right, so like if we can close, if the bodies can actually close above here, that would be a good sign to me. Okay, so you want to see the bodies close above that area on the right side of a dump candle. If not, it's filling a 15-minute FEG and it could fall. So you want to see a good push through this area. One minute looks pretty good. And then looking at ES, ES isn't really showing me enough. I need to see this really run because these look really suspect. Okay. Let's see if we can get that volume pump through here. Now, if we get the volume pump through here, you guys can shoot for, 400s or higher, or maybe New York Open, like 2450s. But, or maybe even like the New York high. But I'm just coming here to stack a base hit, okay? So, I do like the 1 to 5 zone, and I do like that because of this. My eyes are really locked in on this area here. Like this little inefficiency in price that also aligns with that 5R area. So it looks pretty good. 15-minute has 5 minutes left. 5-minute candle has a dump. It's just now can we shift back into those 400s, okay? That 5 minutes got to stay strong, guys, if it's going to work. If it just hits this area, this FEG on 15, it rolls, it could do that too. So just got to be patient. ES still looking kind of strong, so we'll see if they're digging here. We just want to get through the 72s. Come on, guys, push through those 72s for us. It's starting to look very 15-minute FEG-ish. Come on, guys. That 1 hour as well on the way down. Those type of levels, like when you're looking at like an expansion candle and there's an inefficiency like this, you want to see it return back fairly quickly here. You want to see this 5 minutes stay strong, pretty much above this area now, like this. Like this is what your focus is. All right, seeing it stay above that area and stay bullish, if it's going to be bullish. It looks pretty solid. Let's see if we can get the delivery for the stream. Now remember, if you're wanting to hold your full volume to 1 to 5, as soon as this goes off, this 1 to 3 level, I would be break even depending on your entry as well. Okay, so it really depends on your entry, but I would say now at this moment, if you're in anywhere in here, like 230 or 330s or lower, you should be break even. Firing them, coach. All right, guys. So if you want to shoot for that higher price, you can. If you want that 1 to 3 for the day, that can be you. Okay. So for YouTube, that'll be the end of the stream. We're going to continue the rest of this here in Discord. So let me turn that YouTube stream off just really quick. And then we'll continue here. But guys, definitely join the Discord if you haven't joined. We had 2 scratches and came back for the 1 to 3 to secure the day. So pretty good day.